everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to do just a quick little fall look using the Tarte Tartelette Toasted palette. I've only used this palette a couple of times, so I was quite excited to want to do a fall look with it. So first I'm going to start off with just doing my eyebrows real quick. I'm using the Revlon. This is shade medium brown. And I don't do a lot with my eyebrows. I just fill them in real quickly, starting at the front and working my way back. But I really like this pencil. It is very defining and quite easy to work with. Okay, so now the eyebrows are done. Next I'm going to go in with the Becca Backlight Priming Filter. And I usually just use a little squirt of this. You don't need a lot of it, but it is very, very illuminating. It's not one of those primers that's going to fill in your pores, but it is going to do a nice job of keeping your foundation on all day and just kind of gives me like an illuminating look for the day. So I really do enjoy that. And I just blend it in all on my forehead. And I really like this one because it is like a lotion formula, so it's quite enjoyable to use. I am going to prime my eyes a little bit today because this is a palette that I'm not familiar with all that much. So I'm just using the CoverGirl. This is the True Blend Undercover Concealer. I do have an eyelid primer I purchased, but I don't want to use it on this video. I want to use it in another video. So let's start in with the palette. So the first shade I'm going in with is S'more. And it's just like a beigey kind of color, but I'm going to use that as my transition shade. And you can see I'm using my tape hack today because I want to do a wing liner, and I also want this eyeshadow to be very precise. So I did use my tape hack today. And I just throw my transition shade usually on right from on my lid and right up to my brow bone. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. And next I'm going in with Latte. This is again just a nice little brown shade, but more on the tan side. And I'm going to use that as my crease shade. And I work it in right from the corner, outer corner to the inner corner. And I just like to deposit a little bit of color because I'm going to be using a few different shades today. Next, we're going to go in with Cozy. So this is getting into more deeper, darker browns. And this one I'm going to use just on the outer edge, just to deepen that outer area up. And I'm working it in like a circular motion. I find it, for me personally, the circular motion is a little bit easier than the windshield wiper method. And it doesn't tug as much on my eye, I find. So next we're going to go in with the really dark shade, and this is called Fireside. And I thought, well, let's throw it onto my lid and see how dark this is. I hadn't used this shade before, so I didn't know what to expect. But it didn't turn out too badly. I thought it was going to be a little bit darker for the lid, but it turned out okay. And then this shade that I'm going in with now, Candle, it's more than just a shimmer shade. It actually has more glitter in it, which I found out after I put it on. There's quite a bit of fallout under my eye, and I had to really try and get that off before I started applying my face makeup. But I'm just going to apply it right on the inner, say, third of my eyelid, on the inner corner. It's just going to brighten that area up. And I do prefer to use my fingers when I apply these types of shades. I find it just lasts a little bit, it applies a little bit easier on the lid. For eyeliner today, I'm going to go in with the Maybelline Hyper Easy. I have this one in the shade Pitch Black. And I usually start when I use a liquid liner, I usually start right in the center and I work in short little strokes right to the end, and that's why I have the tape there, because I suck at doing wings. But I usually like to have just a little bit of a baby wing when I do wear some of these types of false eyelashes. So I'm just trying to put a little bit of a wing there. And then I'm going to also prime under my eyes. I'm using the CoverGirl The True Blend. This is just the skin smoothing one. But I don't like to use primer under my eyes that has shimmer in it, because then it just accentuates all those fine lines under my eyes. So I do prefer more of a lotion type of product. And that's just going to help that concealer stay in place all day. So then I'm also going to color correct today. So this is my Lise Watier, the color correcting crayon, and I have this one in the shade Peach. But I love how it's just like a crayon shape. You just throw it on, and then I'm going to blend it in with my finger. But it really does help take away that dark pigmentation under my eyes. It works beautifully. And I did let that primer sit under my eyes for a few minutes before I went in with any other product. Next, we're going to go in with the Makeup Forever. This is the Ultra HD. I have this one in the shade R330, but this is a fantastic foundation, very lightweight, and blends really easily on the skin, absorbs nicely, and it just gives me enough coverage that it's not too overdone, but it will cover up, a few of my blemishes here and there. And I also make sure that I run it down my neck as well. I want to make sure that everything just blends seamlessly from the face to the neck. And then I'm also going to use the Too Faced Born This Way, the Super Coverage Concealer. I have this in the shade Nude, and I do really like this concealer. I'm just placing it where the darkest pigmentation is, and also I'm just going to use it to highlight the rest of my face. But this is a really lightweight concealer. It's not very thick, and it's one of the very few concealers that I find, for me personally, does not leave a lot of creasing under my eyes. I do prefer to use a sponge when I'm using this one. There's other times where I will use my fingers to blend in the concealer, but for this one I do like using the sponge. And then I'm just going to blend in the rest of the product where I highlighted. And just making sure it's blended all through my face. So today I'm going to use just a little lightweight formula for powder. This is the Laura Mercier, the translucent setting powder. And I just have a little sample size of it. But I like to put it just into the lid and then use it from there. And I apply just a tiny little layer under my eyes. And I just need a little bit to set that concealer. I don't like to put a lot of powder. I find that just makes me look even drier under the eye than I already am. And then I'm also going to use it to do the rest of my face. And I usually just put it on my nose area where my smile lines are, my chin, and then run it in just in the center of my forehead where I put that highlighter. And then I'm just going to finish off the eye a tiny little bit and use some of those colors that I used on my eyes. I'm just going to run that underneath my eye. I prefer to have a little bit of color under my eye. I know not everybody likes that, but it's one of the things I like to do. Next, I'm going in for mascara. I'm just using the Maybelline, the Falsies Lash Lift. This is a great formulation mascara. It gets into all those little hairs that I have in the corners of my eye. And it just applies really, really beautifully. And I usually apply about 2 coats, even if I'm going to be wearing lashes. And it doesn't clump, and it doesn't flake. That's what I really like about this one. Next, I'm going in with the Ardell Naked Lashes in 424. But these are some of my favorite lashes. They go on, for whatever reason, they just go on really easily. And I don't have to cut them as much as some of the other lashes that, to fit them to your eyes. And they just feel really comfortable through the day. They don't feel like I'm wearing anything on my eye. So I do really enjoy wearing these ones. And then I just make sure that I'm pressing my regular lash to the false lash to set them. Next, I'm going to go in with the Rimmels to do my waterline. So this is the Rimmel Exaggerate, and I have this in the shade Deep Ocean. And I like to just put a little bit of color into my waterline, and I think that just sets the look. I don't always use a black, so I think black is very harsh, so I do like to use this blue one. And of course, I'm going to have to go in with my Lise Watier. This is the Viva Havana Baked Bronzing Powder. My absolute favorite bronzing powder. I haven't actually used it for quite a few videos, so I'm very proud of myself. And I just deposit some on my cheeks. And as you can see, my hair was bugging me. I don't know why I just didn't get it out of the way. And then I also run it on the other side. And I always put it up along my forehead on the hairline. I'm just trying to give a nice bronzy look for the day. And I always make sure to also run it underneath my neck area, right under my chin. And then I also do my neck as well. Next, I'm going in with the Physicians Formula Butter Blush, and I have this in Vintage Rouge. I do really like this one for a nice subtle blush, and it deposits the color beautifully. It's a very velvety formula, and it doesn't look all nice and harsh. It just gives me a really natural look. And so for highlighter today, I'm using the NYX Born to Glow. I haven't used this. It feels like forever. And I have this one called Chosen One. But this is such a beautiful highlighter. If you haven't used it, you should give it a try. It's gorgeous for a drugstore product. It gives me a beautiful highlight. And it's in like a goldy shade. And I always just deposit a little bit above my eyebrows as well. And I put some down the center of my nose and on my Cupid's bow. Next, we're going in with the NYX Lip Liner. I have this in the shade Bedrose, but I love the formulations on the NYX lip liners. They go on so softly, and they aren't one of those harsh lip liners that kind of tug on your lips. These ones are so soft, and they last all day. Very smooth formula. Next, we're going in with the lips. So I'm using the Kat Von D. This is the Everlasting Liquid Lipstick, and I have this in the shade Lovecraft. But it's such a pretty shade, and it's not coming across actually on camera as much as I want to. It's more of like a burgundy. On the camera, it looks like it's more of a pinky shade, but it is kind of more of a burgundy shade. And these last all day. I wanted to put this one on today because I am going out today with a mask on, so I don't want it, and these ones don't transfer onto the mask. They stay on even under a mask. So this formulation is just fantastic. So this is the completed look. I just wanted to do a fun little fall video. I think it turned out really well. I'm really, really happy with it. So before you leave, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. That way you're notified whenever I upload a new video. So as always, I hope everybody has a great week and a great life, and I will see you all very soon in my next video. Bye!